Good freaking morning. Hopefully your Saturday is going to go well. Now, wanted to share something with you. I was talking to a coach of mine yesterday, which is fantastic, learning so much and getting my mind blown like almost every day. It's a really cool thing. Anyway, I was talking to him about a problem that I was having, like me personally. I'm in this program and so-and-so said this is going to be simple. Like it's going to be easy. To do the XYZ thing that I'm doing. And the guy was like, as I was going through it, I'm like, this is not easy. Like, this is really hard. Like, it's hard for me. I don't know why I'm not catching the things. I'm like, it says it's easy, but I'm just not catching it for whatever reason. And I reached out to my coach, Chris, awesome dude. Great name too, great name. And we were talking and I was like, hey man, like, I don't get why I'm having this problem. Like, this is so, he said it's easy and like, I'm just not catching it. And he's like, well, like, what do you define as hard? And I was like, well, I mean, I guess it's just like hard is subjective, right? Like picking up 80 pounds for me is not hard. Picking up 200 pounds for me, not that hard. Picking up 300 pounds, hard. Probably on some lifts, not possible. And so it was like, exactly, like your definition of hard and somebody else's are different. And when you go into a process thinking it's going to be simple and it's not, what that does is create misery. So the equation for misery is telling somebody that something's going to be easy. And then I forget what, hopefully he'll chime in if he sees this, but telling somebody something was easy, but not telling them that parts of it were going to be hard. Like the process could be easy, right? Weight loss is an example. The process is easy. Eating less than what you're burning, that's weight loss, right? Application can be difficult, not hard, not impossible, but difficult. And so when we're going through these sorts of situations, when you're finding yourself, I mean, even people in my program, I realized yesterday, I'm like, oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Because my program, I genuinely think is the simplest way for people to understand how to do the nutrition, fitness, all those things. But I failed to mention, on me, take ownership, is that while it's simple, it still can be challenging. Now, it should not be hard. It should not be miserable. It should not be impossible. But let's be real. You've been operating for a certain time. And for us to say, hey, in a week, it's going to all change magically is a pipe dream. It's not real. And so knowing that, hey, because it's simple, doesn't mean it's lacking difficulty. Just like it's simple for me to open up this marker, but not for a baby. What if I was like, right? But this is exactly what it'd be like, because I was like, hey, open up this marker and you didn't know I super glued it. You'd feel like a dummy. You'd feel like, oh, why is it so hard? Like you just popped it right off. How is it difficult for me? Well, I slipped super glue underneath it. So you actually can't open it. So for you, when you're seeing these things, when you're going through stuff that, even in my program, where I'm like, hey, the process is simple. I think the most challenging thing about my program, quite honestly, is how simple it looks with how challenging other programs are. It makes it seem like it's too simple. It's almost too easy to do it. And so the real challenge is like fending off how you think things should go. Honestly, that's how I feel. But regardless of that, is knowing that something is simple, but there also can be difficulty is okay. And that's good. And it's something that, like, if there's a program that is strictly easy, but doesn't have its challenge, it's probably not real. It's probably fake. Now, is it going to be impossible? No. Is it going to be is there in the program that I have, is it as frictionless as possible? I believe so. I've made it as simple and as straightforward as I can think of in this moment. But it doesn't mean the application isn't hard. It's challenging to add something new to your life. It's challenging to do things consistently that you haven't done for a long time. It is hard. It's challenging. It's not impossible. And so the things that come up from this overwhelm, this sense of feeling behind, these sorts of holes that you could say that we dive ourselves into when we're presented with something that should be simple, but that's challenging to do. First step in following and making sure that doesn't happen, or that as it does come up, that you start feeling these things, is if you're in my plan, just reach out. Hey, I'm having a real hard time with this. And you're not dumb. It's simple to understand, but practice can be hard, and that's fine. And everyone's along the way of where they're at as far as it being challenging or not challenging. That's great. Otherwise, like the overwhelmed feeling that you have, that's something we can work through, because there's some different techniques that we can start implementing into your life. That's like, hey, this sense of overwhelm probably feels like because you don't get this, that you're behind. When the reality is, that's not true. You're not behind. You know the things, which is great. That's the first step of understanding. Now, if you don't understand, that's even better, because now we know where we are. Heck yeah, we're winning all the time. Okay, so we can then teach, and then we can show you how to implement better. And all that is you and I having a conversation. That's it. Like 10 minutes, we're on our way. Literally, like people that were stuck forever. We had a 10-minute conversation, and magically they're not stuck. They understand it. They get what's going on. And so knowing that simple doesn't mean difficult, doesn't mean not difficult, is such an important concept. Anyways, that's it for me today. Have a great freaking Saturday. If you have any questions, let me know. For you, those of you who are watching now that are not on the team, today's the last day for a little bit that I'm going to be accepting anybody new into the program. Wifey's going to have a baby any day now. And so because of that, I'm not going to have appointments set up for consultations or anything like that, just so I don't have to like ghost you and say like, oh, sorry, I didn't show up. I was in the hospital. You know what I mean? So today we are in the clear. My wife has work, so we are in the clear. So if you're ready to join today, today's the day. All you got to do is go to jointrailblazers.com, or you can go to, you can DM me and just say, DM me, I'm ready. And what I'll do is we'll set up an appointment today, because today's the last day. We'll get you set up on what we need to do, and we'll get you moving and grooving, okay? Even though I won't be taking in-person appointments for a while, just so I can help with the baby and all that stuff, still going to be coaching, still not going to leave anybody hanging. So that's it for me, guys. Have a great freaking day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.